All right then, good afternoon, everyone. Today is December 18th, 2020. This is a special meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. We have being held in Albany and also remotely. We have in Albany, Chairman Bradley. We have on video, Commissioner Fan. We have joining us by telephone, Commissioner Ford.
Here.
All right. We have staff in attendance, General Counsel Meyerhoff by video, Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Roberts on the telephone.
I'm here, thanks.
And myself, Secretary Donahue in the Albany offices. We have one item on today's calendar. It's a request for a order of summary suspension from Counsel's office. The agenda number is 01791T. It's Erie OP 3161081. The licensee is Don P. Benoit.
Good afternoon, Stephen Armstrong on behalf of Counsel's Office in support of the summary suspension of this licensee doing business as Prescott's Provisions located at 40 East Niagara Street in Tonawanda on Zone 3. This is an OP license with a method of operation as a restaurant. License was first issued in July of 2018. Large parts of Erie County, including where the licensed premises is located, were designated as an orange zone effective November 20th due to high COVID-19 positivity rates in that part of the state. Those restrictions remain in effect. The conduct at issue with this licensee, on December 17th at approximately 7:45 p.m., Escalade investigator Michael Classon, along with investigator John Clark of the New York State Police, conducted an inspection of the licensed premises. Upon arriving, the investigators observed at least 20 patrons seated inside the enclosed patio area of the licensed premises, consuming food and beverages, which is a clear violation of Executive Order 202.68 and the associated guidance. The patio area is, I think you can see from the photos that are attached to the report, is an enclosed wooden structure with a fixed roof. In fact, the licensee filed an alteration application this summer seeking to build an enclosure around this space. The investigators noted that some of the windows were partially open at the time of the inspection, but the area in use is plainly, as you can see from the photos, not open on two or more sides, as would be required for a proper outdoor dining space. The licensee's sole principal, Don Benoit, was present at the time of the inspection. The investigators advised him of the violations they observed. As I said before, the premises was located in an orange zone at the time of the inspection, and under the guidelines put in place with Executive Order 202.68, no indoor dining whatsoever is permitted in orange zones due to the heightened risk of transmission in such an environment. This licensee has been in an orange zone since November 20th. This fact has been highly publicized. There's no way a responsible licensee could have been unaware of this a month after it went into effect. And the licensee's disregard for these measures poses a risk to the public health, safety, and welfare. And based on that record, I ask members vote to summarily suspend this license pursuant to Section 4013 of the State Administrative Procedure Act. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Fan, do you have any questions? You're muted, Commissioner Fan.
Stefan, do they have any adverse history?
No adverse history.
And were there any complaints before this one event?
Not as far as I can tell, no.
Can I just further understand? You said something about an alteration application to enclose the area. Can you clarify that again?
Sure. So the outdoor patio area that they were using, it was, with their initial application, it was just fenced in. They filed an alteration application, I believe in July of 2020, seeking to build an enclosure around this space and add additional outdoor seating around it. But that's, yes, yeah, so seeking to enclose the space that they were using at the time of the inspection.
But the service that is unlawful is not this outdoor area. There's another indoor area that they're using?
No, so this So this was an outdoor area, but they built this enclosure around it. That's what the alteration application was for.
Oh, I see. So that's not pending. That already went through, and then they built this enclosure based on the application that we approved over the summer. So by
Yes.
definition, because they filed the alteration, it's for sure indoors.
Yes, that's
I got you now. Thank you very much for clarifying that. Okay.
Just to clarify, the standard that the board has to apply to whether it's indoors or outdoors is the Department of Health standard, which is whether it's open on two sides. So that's really the issue. But in addition to that, this licensee understood that it was enclosing this space. So it's hard to, well, arguably hard for them to say they didn't know that this place was an enclosed location.
Yep.
All right, Commissioner Ford, any questions?
Was the alteration, was it approved? Has it been approved already?
yes, it was approved in, I believe, July 2020.
I just want to clarify, it was conditionally approved, the space on July 28th, 2020. It hasn't received final approval yet. We're still waiting on a statement of completion, photos that it's been done, and photos of the space prior to giving final approval on that alteration. So it has been conditionally approved, but they have not received final approval.
Adam, it's Gary. Can you tell from the pictures and the application whether the place in which we see the service is the same place that they sought to enclose?
Just one moment. If the space in question is on the front towards Niagara Street, then that would be the space that was applied for in the alteration. So given that it's the only outdoor space in the pictures, in the report, with the pictures and the diagram and the diagram that we have for the alteration application, it's reasonable to assume that those are the two same premises.
It does look pretty new as well, but we can't tell which street the frontage is on. But just to reiterate, the issue is whether or not it's got a enclosure on top, and if it does, it's not outside unless it has two open sides, and I don't think it has any open sides.
Correct.
So Adam, when you say it was conditionally approved, does that mean under normal circumstances they could begin using it?
No. So, Commissioner, the difference here is licensees need to apply with the authority to make those changes before they actually do it. So when we conditionally approve somebody to do that, we're basically giving them permission to go ahead and make the changes, but they're not supposed to be utilizing that alteration or, you know, taking advantage of those the changes until they submit the other requirements to us, and which they would at that time receive a final approval to go ahead and start using the space or the alterations that they're seeking to do.
So conditional gives them the approval to go ahead and get started on it, but not to use it.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Which means, Commissioner Ford, that we may have another charge to add, but it wouldn't have an impact on the grounds for which we seek to suspend the license.
Understood. Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Chairman Bradley, do you have any questions?
No, I have no questions.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote of the members. First, Commissioner Fan.
Based on evidence submitted by Mr. Armstrong and photos that the investigator took, it's clear that this location is not following the executive orders issued by the governor to prevent the spread of COVID-19 knowingly while they're in an orange zone. And this location is therefore an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare. And I vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford.
Based on evidence presented by counsel, I vote to summarily suspend this license as well. Indoor dining as such is not allowed where they are right now. And so really there's no other option.
Chairman Bradley.
I vote to summarily suspend. I mean, and just so the record's clear, the pictures that were submitted along with council's presentation make this clear that there can be absolutely no doubt that this is indoor dining. There is a fixed roof. It's fixed walls with windows in them. The ceiling has recessed lighting. There's no open side whatsoever to the outdoors, and whatever venting they're only getting through windows that are maybe partially open. At the time that this visit was made, this restaurant was in an orange zone and indoor dining was illegal. Therefore, they are operating outside the executive orders and are a risk to the public health, safety, and welfare.
All right, Chairman, I have nothing else on the calendar. Do you have anything else?
I don't. Thank you all. Have a good weekend.
All right, with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend.